Hello everyone, welcome back to our reading adventure. Today we are going to be diving into what to do if we're reading and we see a new word. I'm Kate Burdish and I can't wait to explore with you. Have you ever been reading and you come across a word you didn't know? Well, today we're going to figure out how to understand those words and figure out the meanings. Are you guys ready to become word wizards? Let's get started. I know when we see a new word when we are reading, it can be pretty scary and sometimes we don't know what to do. But don't worry, the first step that we can do to try to understand the mystery word is try to spell it out. Sometimes when we do this, something really cool can happen. We can actually understand what the word means. Sometimes when we see a new word that is written down, we don't know what it is. But if we sound it out and we're able to hear it out loud, we actually know the word and we know what it means. I want all of you guys to know how much of an important skill and superpower spelling out words can be. Do you guys want to all practice together? Great, let's try to sound out the word very slowly and go sound by sound. Let's see if it can help us figure out what the word might be. Let's start with this word right here and go sound by sound. Helicopter. Now that we've broken down the word, let's try to put it all together. Let's go syllable by syllable. Helicopter. Now that it is coming together, let's try to put it all together in one. Helicopter. Great job, you guys. Let's move on to another example. Let's try with this word. Medicine. Can you guys try it with me? Medicine. Let's try to put it all together. Medicine. Great job, you guys. We have one more word to practice, and that's this one. Can you guys try to do it without me? Pause this video and see if you can do it. All right, now that you've taken the time to pause, we're gonna do it all together. Scientist. Let's try to put it all together. Scientist. Great job, everyone. Sounding out words is a great place to start. But sometimes we can sound out the word and do everything right, but we still don't know what the meaning is. You may be wondering, so what do we do now? Well, now we get to put on our detective hats and find out what this mystery word might be. One way that we can do this is to check for different word parts within the whole word. We can do this by taking the whole word and dividing it into parts. And then we can look at each part by itself and see if that can tell us what the whole meaning of the word might be. Do you detectives think that you can give this a try? Great, then let's get started. Let's start with this word right here. So the first thing that I'm seeing when I see this word is the first part of it is un. Un. Un means not or unable sometimes. Then let's look at other word parts that might be in this word. What do you guys see? The second thing I see is read, right in the middle. We all know what read means. So let's see if there's any more word parts. Able. So when I see able, I look at the first part and it says unable. You can't do something. And the middle part is read. You can't read. So the meaning of the word means that you can't read. And the word is unreadable. Unable to read. Great, let's move on to our second example. I'm gonna give you guys a second with this word to see if you can find any word parts. Okay, great. Now we're gonna break it down together. When I'm looking for word parts, I like to start at the beginning of the word and go to the end. So at the beginning of this word, I see ear. Ear means not typical. It sometimes is a reversal of a word, so let's keep that in mind. Regular. Regular, typical, we know what that means. And ly, which is just an ending to a word. So ear means a flipping of a regular meaning, and regular, so it's not regular, so we're flipping the meaning. And now we know that the meaning is not regular, and the word is irregular. You guys are doing so amazing. Let's put on our detective hats one more time for our third example, right over here. I'm gonna give you guys in a second to see if you can recognize any word parts. Okay, let's break it down together. For this example, we're gonna try to decode it without knowing one of the word parts. Dis. Let's say we don't understand what dis means. Let's skip it for now and try to move on to another word part. Respectful. Respectful means being kind and being nice to someone. If we know what respectful means, then let's try to go back to dis and see if we can figure it out. Well, if it was just respectful, then we wouldn't need the dis. But because it's there, it may be flipping the meaning of the word, meaning that it's not respectful. And in this case, it's true. Disrespectful is the opposite of respectful. This trick is great, but sometimes words don't have different parts that we can put them into. So what do? Well, we have to put on our super detective hats and find them in a different way. One way that we can do this is looking for context clues. We are going to read the sentences before and after the mystery words to see if there are any clues in those sentences to help us figure out what the mystery word might be. Let's get started and try this. Let's practice with this sentence. Let's say we already read this sentence once and we discovered that we don't know what the word yawned means. We already sounded it out, but we still don't know what it is. So now we have to look for context clues because there are no word parts. Let's read the sentences before and after. It was 7 o'clock on a very warm evening in West Hills when Father Wolf woke up from his day's rest. He scratched himself, yawned, and spread out his paws one after the other to get rid of any sleepy feelings in their tips. Okay guys, what did we learn from this sentence? Well, what I learned from this sentence was that Father Wolf just woke up and he was tired. When I'm tired and I just wake up, I stretch and I also yawn. And that's how we know the meaning of the word. By relating what the character is doing to your own lives, sometimes we're able to understand what the mystery word might be. You guys did such an amazing job and you were already super detectives. And because you guys are so good at finding the mystery words, I'm gonna give you guys one more example. Let's say we read this sentence and we figured out that we don't know what the word pleasant means. Let's try to use the context clues to understand what this may be. And then they gave me nuts and pleasant things to eat. And then they carried me in their arms up to the top of the trees, and I was their blood brother, except I had no tail and should be their leader someday. Okay, when he's talking in this sentence, is it good things or is it bad things? I think it's good. They carried him, they wanted him to be their brother and their leader, and they gave him nuts. So what do you think that tells us about the word? Is it gonna be good or is it gonna be bad? I think it's gonna be good. So if we know that it's gonna be a good word, pleasant things to eat. So if they're eating it, it's probably good. So pleasant in this case probably means good. And it does, pleasant does mean good. You guys all did amazing. You should all be very proud of yourselves. You learned how to be the best word detectives by sounding out words, looking for word parts, and looking for context clues in the text. However, I want you guys all to know that even if you do these steps, it's okay to not know the meaning of the word. Sometimes we're not able to figure it out. If you can't figure out a word's meaning, don't be scared to ask a teacher, parent, or a friend about what the meaning might be. They might know what the meaning is, or you guys can try to figure it out together and it becomes a fun game. But once you figure out the word, make sure to create a word journal. This is a special notebook where you write down all the words that you're learning. This is so you can come back to the word journal if you're reading and you don't know a word, or when you want to write your own stuff and you have a whole place where you can find amazing vocabulary. Great job, everyone. I hope you guys all had an amazing time learning what to do if we don't know a word when we're reading. Remember guys, keep using all of these tips, like sounding words out, looking for clues, and asking for help when you need it. All of these will make you a better reader. Keep practicing and exploring new books so you can keep growing your word power. Thank you guys so much for joining me, and I really hope to see you all next time for our next reading adventure. Bye!